up, you guys? It's Megan, and before we get into this video, I wanted to let you guys know all of the proper idiots are going to be in Arlington, Texas on December 4th at 2 p.m. We have two types of tickets for our next live show. We have general admission for $25 and VIP for $50. We only have 300 tickets, so if you want to get a ticket for the show, you better act quick. During the show, we're going to have exclusive merch and posters, and we're also going to be doing fun activities where we pull you guys up on stage, do a live video game tournament, and a live Q&A. So head to the link in the description if you would like more information about our very next live event. So my original idea for this video was to make cheap apartments or apartments that you wouldn't need any more money than what your sim has on move-in for each type of career that you would want to pursue. The one that I'm currently doing right now is the social media career, and then I'm also going to hit on the politician and the art critic career. The art critic career can also go into a food critic career, but I focus it on art because I do art myself, and that's, what I thought would work. I'm not a superstar builder. I just like to do it in my free time, but I'm not like at like the Legacy standard or, Sim Supply standard or anything like that. I do what I can, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this because I had a lot of fun making these builds or these, inside interior design builds because, I didn't do any exterior work. If you guys want more videos like this, please leave a like on it. Please let me know in the comments that you guys enjoyed this, and at the end, let me know which room is your favorite. So with this social media career, of course, it relies heavily on garnering an audience and making social media posts, taking pictures, posting those, even sponsorships. So I decided to give this sim a little home office that divides up in her room, along with a really bright colored bed and or a bright colored rug and then a neutral bed. Now for the living room, I just wasn't sure what to do because there is a lot of space in the living room, as you guys can see. So I kind of was like, I'm gonna do the living room, and then I was just like, okay, nope. So overall, this is my favorite build that I did in the entire video. That's why I'm showing it first, because I want you guys to be able to see it. So I put dark wood on the floor because I figured I would add accents of pop and color, and that's also why I did the walls gray. With some of these apartments, you guys will find that it's really hard to see inside of them while you're building, like with the walls up. That's something I struggle with in the politician room, and you guys will see that. Something that I find to be a really easy way to change the look of an apartment without spending money is literally just changing the colors of the items. You guys saw me change the kitchen just a little bit. Now I'm working on the couch. I wanted to go for a more modern design because this is the new digital media age where everything is awesome and electronic. So now this is me trying to figure out what the heck kind of rug do I want here. I think I easily picked. Overall, I was just kind of unsure about this entire build until the very end, where I was like, okay, yeah, I love this. This is really good. This is my favorite. Now, as mentioned before, these do not require money cheats. These just require, whenever your sim first moves into the house, you can sell everything, and then this is what you're left with. You could probably even just move into an empty apartment, but I don't because I like the kitchen stuff to be there whenever I move in. Same with the bathroom stuff, because I mostly just end up changing the colors. So basically, now I'm just adding a little background to my sim's computer. She has the cheapest computer. Eventually, you'll want to upgrade that, but I thought it was a nice touch since it is a very cheap apartment alternative, or not alternative, apartment decor alternative to what the base game gives you. Now I'm just deciding what type of artwork I want to put on her wall above. City Living comes with a lot of artwork options where you can change the pattern and the actual look of things and not just the color of it. So now here I'm playing with the idea of adding an island. I recently learned at Sims Camp you can have rounded counters, and it blew my mind. I was like, this is insane. I have to use this all the time now, and I am obsessed with it. So I decided to give her a little island. There's only room for one stool, but that's fine because she's living alone right now. Eventually, you can expand the counter if you want. And I struggled so much with this room, you guys. I did not know what to do, with the bookshelf, or if I kept the bookshelf. I didn't end up keeping the bookshelf, spoiler alert. I just didn't know how to fill this awkward space behind the TV and in between the island on the counter. So here I just added a little game console because as the social media gamer, you need to have game skills, and you need to have other tech skills. So I tried to add as many of those items as I could, even though there's not that many of them. There's really just a little Xbox type of a PlayStation console ordeal, which is brand new, by the way, which they didn't have. and then the computer, of course. Now here I'm just adding curtains because I figured that also would help fill the really empty space that appeared in the apartment. Now the curtains that they added to the game are kind of weird. I could not figure out a size to fit that window over there. Now what am I doing? I don't know. Oh, I'm deciding on artwork for above the bed again. I did all these builds yesterday and I'm commentating over them today in the morning, so if I sound a little tired, that is why. Overall, this entire video took me about 3 hours to make because each build took about like an hour or like 40 minutes to an hour to finish, and maybe that'll help convince you guys that you like them. If it doesn't, that's cool. So now I'm just playing with like kind of this light that I really like from City Living. I don't think I ended up using it because I couldn't find a purpose for it. I was just desperately looking for some change in the lighting, in the environment. I found that really cute hanging lamp that's like yellow. I eventually ended up turning it to blue. And see, just trying to fill the space in here, I was like, oh my gosh, that neon sign is really cute. So I put that in the kitchen. Since I don't do a lot of build, a lot of this was me just exploring items that were in the Sims game, in City Living, and like just in the base game. So that is kind of what you guys are seeing here. I'm just like, what is this? What am I doing? Now, I did turn the doors green because I thought that that was a really cute touch with the pop of color that we're going for. So hopefully you guys like that. This entire build, I'm in love with it. I think it's very pretty and, you know, a very perfect little hideaway for any sort of social media guru or, you know, superstar or whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing because I'm just pulling out giant signs like, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And I'm still trying to find something to fill the space behind the TV. And obviously everything I'm pulling out is way too big. I did think about putting a bar in, but I was like, that's a bad idea. I should not put a bar in the living room. So I just kind of kept on looking at things and everything was so big, but then I had like a idea and I figured that I would put in the bubble blower that is from the new expansion pack, City Living. Of course, I didn't know where to put it. I didn't know what colors to put at first. I ended up getting there. Do not worry, do not fear. Now the bubble blower item is so funny. Every time my sim uses it, she's not happy. My sim turned red in my last Let's Play because one of the bubble flavors made her so angry, and I was afraid she was gonna die from anger, honestly, because I've never had a sim turn red on me before. So right here I'm just looking for artwork to fill the wall. I can't remember what I ended up doing for it, but I was just trying to place different things, maybe different hanging plants or anything that I could figure out, and I wanted to add in a bookshelf, but I just didn't know where or how, and they were all just really big and coming off the wall, so I just decided on that little levitating bookcase because that's always my go-to option if I can't figure something out. Now, as you guys can see, I am looking for a rug to go underneath the bubble blower to make sure it all matches, and I ended up just loving how the bubble blower sits on top of the rug, how it looks like the flower petals are coming out from underneath it. After that, I decided that I wanted to like kind of just try to fill the space even more, and I just was trying to think about that, but then I also realized that I didn't even touch the bathroom yet and I should probably start to do that. The bathroom is always really just a really easy solution for me. It doesn't ever need to be anything spectacular. It's just like, okay, change the wallpaper, change the floor, and then maybe change the colors of each of the bathroom things. I decided to go with lime green to match the pop of color. It might be gross to have a lime green toilet, but I decided to give it a shot anyway. Now, I'm just decorating the kitchen. I'm adding little like knickknacks and just things that, you know, decorations that don't actually mean anything. And oh my gosh, these wall dividers, guys, I thought that these were such a good idea to help divide up this huge space that I was given. I think that they are super handy and useful. They're like $200 a piece, but I was like, it's worth it for the interior design sake of this video. So I'm just finishing up the little room with little decor and decorations, those are the same thing. I'm sorry, I wanted to change the light to blue, and as you guys can see, this build was meant more, in my opinion, to have the lighting a different color other than the white light that is originally default set in the game, so I do end up playing with that. I was just kind of looking for a final little end table, and I decided to fill that space with that table. I didn't have any money to put anything on it. As you guys can see, I have $26 left over after this build. Now, here is just like a little walkthrough of the apartment from like what the sim would see, and you guys can see I have the light changed to a purple color, which I think really adds to the entire room as a whole. Here's a shot of the bedroom. Oh, and it was really fast. And then these are just some before and after pictures. Here's before, so boring, so bland, and then after, it's like a little sim social media guru getaway where, you know, you can relax, do the bubble blower, have a little drink in the kitchen with the neon sign, the bathroom, yeah, whatever, and then the bedroom, which I love. I love the little office space that I had given this sim. So that will complete the very first build for the social media career. Next up, I decided to do a build for the art critic career, or I guess it could be a food critic if you wanted it to, just change some of the items up. But as mentioned earlier in the video, I always like to do the art critic career. This is the career that my sim currently plays, but I did not do my apartment like this, so if you guys are expecting to see something that looks like my Let's Play apartment, it's not going to be. I went for something a lot more neutral, as an artist, and I think other artists can also agree, like, yes, color is awesome, patterns are awesome, but like whenever you want art to stick out on the wall, patterns and colors everywhere are not awesome. So I decided to go for a very basic kind of color palette with a bunch of neutrals, with just maybe like some pops of like the artwork to build the actual apartment. As you guys can see, there's a plaque on the wall there, which actually ends up fitting in quite nicely, which I could not remove because that is a trait in the apartment that it is haunted and it has history, and I cannot change that plaque. So you guys can see that I am changing the colors of the kitchen, which I find to be like a really easy life hack, just changing the colors. And I don't know, I really like those counters anyway. They're industrial, and they were what I was gonna use anyway when I came into this apartment. And just so you guys know, this is one of the nicer apartments in the world, one of the nicer affordable apartments starting off, because it doesn't have like the roaches or the mice holes like the third apartment that we go to. I wanted to build a different apartment in each build, so I kind of was running out of options because there's two like crappy apartments, which is the very first one I did and the last one I did, and then this one's like kind of like the middle class apartment. So it is affordable, and I did not use any money cheats. You guys can watch my money the whole time while I'm doing this, just to see like how I redecorated it and how I reworked an entire apartment just with the money that I had given to me. So going back to basics, as you guys could see, I chose a white bed with like a birchwood backboard. I thought that that was very fitting to help the whole industrial minimalist look. I played with the idea of adding a yoga mat or a wellness skill thing, because I really want my Sims to do that skill, but I never have room for those in my apartment. I decided to get this city living partition mirror thing and put that into the bedroom, and I love that mirror. I think it is the cutest, and I cannot wait to use it in so many future builds. They did so good by adding that in. I was trying to think of putting a rug underneath the bed, and I just could not find one that I liked until eventually I did. And I ended up like basing it into the wall because I didn't have room for it at a bigger size. I don't know, sometimes things are just really hard to make fit. Things are really hard to work with. I don't know all the build sheets. I know build mode or like move objects on to help arrange things, but I don't know the little things, like if something spawns really high on the wall, I don't know how to move it down, which I think you guys might see me try to do in the bathroom a few times. So that's the rug I chose, and as you guys can see, I have it like pushed way up just into the wall. You can't see it on the other side of the apartment, so I figured it was fine. Maybe my sim just cut the rug to look like that is all. Added in a little plant for more color, and then I was just looking for art. Looking for art to match this vibe was one of the more difficult tasks. As you guys can see, I kind of slowed down a lot because I think at the time I was also in a TeamSpeak call trying to work on something else, so I was multitasking while I did this video. So I don't know, I think that the art I ended up going with matches pretty well with the whole vibe I was going for. It's like a neutral apartment with orange and red color pops to it, but still finding all the artwork to fit, it was hard and difficult, so that's why I ended up sizing some of it up. Okay, so basically just more artwork. Oh, I really liked these little prints that I found. I thought that they fit in perfectly. There was actually a lot of art that I found. Okay, well this would work, this might be boring, and then I also sized that up. If you guys don't know how to size up artwork, it's just the brackets, which are right above the enter on your keyboard. If you put the outer bracket, it sizes it up. If you put the other side bracket, like the left bracket, it sizes down. It can't size down once it's already to like its minimum size, but you can always size things up. You can make them so big. So I always find that to be a really handy tool in filling space. For example, my Sims, they can never afford a nice TV, so I always just size it up. I decided to put down a tarp in the kitchen because I thought that that helped the industrial artsy vibe. So that's the quote-unquote rug I decided to go with. It is a new city living rug. So I thought that that would just be the perfect match. And then I was still playing with the easel that I put in, because if you guys didn't know, if you decide to do like the critic career, you will have to learn the creative skill. You will have to like do paintings and go out and spray paint and graffiti. So I figured a way to add that skill in would be extremely useful for my sim. Now I'm just looking for a rug to put in the living room. I decided on that one. They actually have that rug at Target, which I thought was weird. I think that they have that exact rug at Target, but like in a black and white color. So, you know, good job, Sims. Target rugs. So now I'm kind of messing with the idea of also bordering off this room, kind of like I did in the last build. This was the very last build I did. I'm showing them out of order. I did like the partition that I put in the social media room, so I am just kind of trying to figure out a way to incorporate that to this room. I did not know about the colors at all. Like I said, I struggled a lot with all the colors that I used in this apartment. I just wasn't sure, like, oh, should I do navy? Navy and black don't look good together in my opinion. Like, so I ended up finding a solution that I thought worked very well. So now I'm looking at a coffee table. This coffee table was interesting, but I could only put the TV on one part of it. So I decided to move that to the entryway because I thought that that would be a nice accent. I really do enjoy the cheap coffee tables, the ones that are like just stark white at the beginning and then you can change their color to match what you're looking for. I find those to be very useful indeed. And here I decided to change the easel to blue because I thought that that was a very nice touch to help bring out the pop of color inside of the painting on the wall above the TV. I still do like that plaque that is hanging there. Overall, I think you guys can see how the plaque fits into the build overall, so it's not too big of an issue that it has to remain there. So now I'm still just doing artwork on the walls. I really like what I ended up doing with the entryway. I know what I'm doing right now is not what I end up going with. I end up moving some of that to the bedroom and everything. Like I said, the art critic career, you want a lot of good art on the walls, so that is what I tried to do for my sim. So I ended up going with the black painting, or the one that is predominantly black, because it kind of matched with the whole neutral vibe. It is kind of creepy. It is kind of like Big Brother's always watching, but I thought, you know, why not? It's alright, I can go in the bedroom. So this is what I ended up doing with the entryway. I hung a piece of art above the door and then I put a light over it, which I thought was like a really nice painting. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of like, are you sure, Megan? Are you sure that that's what you wanted with that? So I'm like trying to fill the space with pictures, but I think I end up just running out of money and then not having enough to fill some of the space that I wanted to fill. Now I'm like trying to look for rugs, but I couldn't find one, so I just ended up doing the bathroom at this point. As I mentioned earlier, an easy way to do the bathroom is just to change the wall color paper and then the tile and call it a day. I actually had to erase the bathtub that was in this build because I was like, why do Sims need bathtubs? I like to use showers. So I went ahead and added in a different type of shower for my sim to use, which I think fits in quite nicely with the glass. So now I am just putting on some finishing touches of the apartment. I'm adding a rug underneath the vanity type of partition mirror thing. I don't know what it's called. And then trying to figure out a rug situation for the very beginning, like the entryway, and like I said, changing colors. I played with dark wood, but I was like, no, I kind of like the birch wood. That's fine. Now I'm just trying to fill some of the space with plants, add in like, you know, cactus here, little house plant there. So these are the little details I was trying to work out. I was trying to see if I could add anything more to the kitchen, but I think I ended up not being able to. But there I am adding in an artistic looking light, which is actually now a little bit too modern in my opinion, but it's in the apartment, so we're gonna live with it. So now I am just picking out the final rug, and then this will be close to the end of the build. I think the way that I build is like I try to do everything all at once to make sure I have enough money to cover everything all at once, just to make sure I don't spend so much money in the living room and then have nothing for the bedroom. So I kind of just try to spread out what I'm doing, decorate it all at once. I don't know, does any of you guys like build like that? Is that normal? So I'm just like finishing up the apartment now, once again not knowing what I'm pulling out, but you could see I'm dwindling in money because I'm starting to see red when I pick things out. I finally decide to just add one more piece of art to the wall, and it ends up being a bookshelf because that's all I could afford. So here's just a walkthrough of the apartment as I showed in the earlier apartments. I'm gonna try to do these for all of the apartments I did. These are much shorter, much smaller apartment. And then here are some before pictures. of the apartment, there's not much changes. This is the probably most subtle change that I did for an apartment, but here are the after shots. I do like the color scheme I went with. I do like the industrial look of it. And overall, I think it was a really fun build to do, and this is definitely something that one of my Sims would live in. So I hope that you guys also liked this one, and that is it for the critic career. Last but certainly not least, I did the politician career. Now, okay, so with this one, I struggled a ton. I know I've said that with every apartment, but I definitely struggled the most with this one. I wasn't sure exactly how to execute it. I know that I wanted like royal colors, not royal, but like, you know, really rich colors like dark reds and maybe like navies, or just something that was a little bit more traditional, since I feel like politicians sometimes are a bit more traditional because they have more money and they're older. So it's like if you're a politician, sometimes your tastes tend to be more classical. I know that my Sim is a young adult, but I just went with it anyway. So here is what I did. I just changed some of the colors of the cabinet. I ended up going with a darker one than is like going on now. This is the very first apartment build that I did out of the 3. So I did like just go back and forth. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. This is the first of the first ever builds that I've done for my channel, so excuse me for being a little bit slow on this one. So I did decide to go with dark appliances for the kitchen, as well as like dark cabinets. I was trying to figure out how to change the floor, and I did end up doing more of the exposed brick look, but you know, we'll get to that towards the end. I definitely love the red wallpaper look. I don't know why. I've always done red wallpaper in my Sims houses, even from the Sims 1, the very first original Sims. I've always just found it really appealing. So with wood to match, it was like trying to figure out if I wanted to do a light wood and contrast it or not, and then there was a bookshelf there, but I didn't feel like that fit. Also, there's a little computer right there, which I end up deleting as well. I was just looking for something more classical, something more distinguishing, if you might say, but I feel like all the bookshelves are so like heavy and they're so bulky, so I just ended up going with the same one but within a darker shade. So this is the bathroom that I struggled with the most. Anytime that I put the walls up, I could not see inside of it. So there was no way, and then when they were halfway down, I couldn't see the walls. So this is a really big problem with this bathroom, and I wish that, you know, it was better. They didn't do that. So what I had to do was I would change the wallpaper, and then I would have to tab and look inside of it, which was very annoying. And if you guys have this apartment, maybe you should just keep the bathroom the way it is, or just change the flooring at least. As you can see, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. That wallpaper looked a little bit too much like a sauna for me, so I did not quite want to keep it that way. I know, or I think that I ended up using the tile that I used for the kitchen on the inside of the bathroom. It's not that one, but it was really hard, guys. So if you guys ever have struggles like these, let me know, because I feel like I've never seen a builder struggle with something like that. So that was looking pretty good, pretty neutral. I think I might have just kept it like that and then changed the appliances, or I guess they're not appliances, the plumbing components to a darker shade because I felt like it complemented. Okay, Megan, come on, just get to the part where you changed the bathroom tile to the kitchen tile, or the whatever you did. So I feel like I kind of was just starting to test wallpapers on the outside wall, and then I threw those in to see if they would look good. I struggled a lot with the bathroom. So now moving on to the bedroom, I got rid of that high traffic carpet. That high traffic carpet is a new feature to the SimCity Living. It's supposed to look like a lot of people walked on it, or that it's really dirty or super lived in, but you know, no excuse. It costs the same amount as regular carpet, so I cleaned it up. As well as I changed the wallpaper a bit. As you can see, the wallpaper on the walls now is like faded memories or something of that nature, which means it's like dirty and also very lived in. Once again, it didn't cost any money to replace it with the new wallpaper. You can see in the corner behind the bed that there's actually a mouse hole there. You can't get rid of that, so I'm assuming that there's going to be mice in this apartment. I've replaced the computer and the desk, which you just saw me do, for like a darker shade because it was like really light, and then there was like a light green chair, which I did not enjoy. Now here's where I added in a podium, and I added this in because in the politician career, your sim needs to know a lot of like politics and, you know, be very charismatic and, you know, give speeches, of course, to rile up the crowd to make sure that, you know, they're on your side or whatever. I ended up changing the placement of that podium, and now that I look at the final build, I don't quite like where the podium is either. So I'm going to have to go back and change that before I upload it to the gallery. And by the way, I am going to upload all of these to the gallery. I'm not completely sure how I'm going to upload them to the gallery because I've never seen anybody do that before. So I guess that's just something we're gonna have to experiment on together. Now, adding little details like carpets is always my favorite. I think you guys have probably seen me do that enough. You can never have too many carpets. And here I was just exploring maybe adding a dresser, because I know in all the basic sim games they always have dressers, so I figured maybe I should add one of those. I also changed the bed to something with a darker wood and red, as well as deleting these crazy posters off the wall and, you know, just trying to add something a little bit more formal. So I went up with this like blueprint picture. I ended up adding another one a little bit later. But like I said, I design everything like separately, and then I go through and I just fill in everything as I go. Like, I don't concentrate on one room, because I feel like if I do that, then I definitely like forget that I need to ration money to spend in the rest of the apartment. Oh, and also this apartment has a little vent there and another little mouse hole. You can't remove any of that, and you also cannot remove the little fuse box that's in there either. So considering this was my very, very first build that I tried, this was me really just looking at everything that The Sims had to offer. I've always been more of a player. I've never been much of a builder, so I honestly had no idea what all this game had, because I used to do a lot of builds when like The Sims 2 came out and then The Sims 3, and I never in The Sims 4 for some reason. I always just played the game. But now, after seeing all of these amazing like detailed objects and little knickknacks that you can put on your walls, I'm definitely going to start decorating my Sims house even more than I already do. So now for the couch, I was wanting to go with something kind of fancy but not too fancy, because if it was too fancy it didn't match the vibes of the apartment. So I was looking for something a little dressed down but also something that looked nice in the area. I can't remember which couch I ended up going with, but as you can see, there's all these like little fun patterns on these couches, and some of them were a little bit too much for me. So I ended up, I guess, going with the basic couch, the basic starter couch, and then I changed the colors of that. Always a good alternative, you guys, always good. I added in this coffee table. I think I ended up deleting it, I'm not sure, because I just didn't like the tablecloth and the color combination. It was just starting to get a little too musky for me, the entire look of the room. And there I go with the cheat again. Yep, there we go. There's the coffee table that I liked. And then I played with adding a little lazy boy type chair. But as I was just saying, there I go, like changing the TV with the cheat code with the brackets to make it bigger than it actually is, because I don't like it when my Sims have a small TV, and I feel like they deserve better, you know? I just can't afford better, is all. So that's where I ended up sticking the podium. As I mentioned, I don't like it there. I'm going to change it. I kind of wanted it to be in front of the couches in case maybe you had your friends over and you wanted to show them your newest speech for your campaign that you wanted to do, and you know, I just didn't like it there. So here's where I start decorating all the little kitchen islands and stuff and trying to pick out designs for that. You guys can see me just pull out really big items too. So I wasn't quite sure what color detail I wanted, so I pulled out silver, but I think maybe I just wasn't sure what to do. I did really like those lilies that I put in the background though, and then this is where I was also finding little bath mats for the bathroom and just all the little fine details. I tried rearranging the bathroom, but I couldn't really put anything other than where it was. So that was awkward. And I added a little bit more artwork to the bedroom, as you can see. And I'm thinking it's coming along swimmingly. Like, even though it's all super formal, this is not my style at all. I figured it was just more the style of a older politician who, you know, who's lived a long life and seen a lot of things and has a good amount of money from doing politician things, because all politicians are rich, you guys. Don't be fooled. So I just added a kitchen mat, and this is like, I tried to move the cabinets, like turn them around, but then I couldn't get it to line up and it looked weird, so I was like abandoning the idea, and I just put the kitchen sink in the back corner back there. This is another thing I was having problems with. I could not get the racks to move down. Every time I tried to place something in the bathroom, it went up super high, and I don't know how to fix that. So if you guys have any information on how to drag things down a wall, please, please, please let me know. I would appreciate that. I also needed to incorporate a mirror, so my sim would be able to gain the charisma skill, because I'm not sure if the podium gives the charisma skill. So this is me looking for a mirror. I decided on that one because I was like, oh, that's fancy, and you know, probably matches the rest of the vibes. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this build I did so far. I'm not really sure how much I should talk. I've never commentated over one of these before. Just being honest, we are now like 29 minutes into the video, so if you're still here, thanks for watching this far. And if you're still watching this far, write in the comments like hashtag I'm still watching. Okay, so I decided to add little tea to the cabinets, and then little, what is it called, pots and pans hanging from the ceiling. And I think this is where I was like, okay, this apartment's like coming together, it's looking good. I'm running pretty low on money at this point. As you can see, I only have like $189 or something of that nature. I'm just looking for some final touches to put into the kitchen. I think maybe I ended up going with a fruit bowl, but I can't remember. Spoiler alert, sorry. I know I should just let the build do its thing and just kind of like explain why I thought the way that I think things, but I really don't do that. I just build, and then now I'm just like word vomiting to like let you guys know this is the build and this is what I did as I'm doing it, just in case you aren't actually watching and you're just listening to my voice. So I wanted to add a corkboard because I felt like, oh, all politicians can do corkboard things. That's how they plan, that's how they think about what they want to do, but I could not get it to move down on the wall, and I think I took a short break to Google search it and I just couldn't find out how to do it. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know, please. Please, please, please. That's like the only thing I'm having trouble with. And I will start using cheats to do builds. Like I'll start doing move objects on so I can move things in a more like okay fashion, like as long as they're designs or like just decoration things, not actual practical use things, because I know practical use things wouldn't be so practical if you couldn't use them, you know what I mean? So this is just the very final touch I put on the kitchen. I added in a little stovetop thing, and then I changed the brick wallpaper just to kind of help it look more like an apartment and not so much like a house. So this is where I actually end up changing the tile. I didn't realize it was so late in the video, but I was thinking about it, I was debating on it, and then I didn't have enough money for a rug for the bedroom, which made me very sad because I really wanted to add a rug. So here's just the final little walkthrough of the apartment. As you can see, my sim is sitting there on the couch. I just let her do her thing. She waited outside long enough. I do like the way that this build turned out. It was very traditional and it was very warm in my opinion. Definitely homey, very lived in. So here's just the before picture of everything that happened. I think it looks a lot better than it did, to be honest. And then here's the after picture. It's more modern but also classic at the same time, if that makes sense. More modern in the fact of the brick and the hanging pots, but then classic in the form of like the couch and the wallpaper color and also like the coffee table. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this final political build. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had to upload each individual room to the gallery by itself, which was a pain and looks super messy, but you guys can see here what I'm titling them, and then in a bit I will show you guys my page so that you guys can find these apartments if you want to add them. I also added Bridget Jones's apartment to the gallery because you guys were asking for it, so I went ahead and did that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it, leave a comment letting me know other builds that you guys might like to see, if you want to see more of these, if you want to see like maybe more of these but like shorter videos, because this one got kind of long because I did 3 builds in it. Just please let me know all of that. I would really love your feedback on this video. So yeah, here I'm just saving the social media bedroom, and then I will show you guys where my page is. It's Megan Plays with 2 N's, and then you guys can see all the rooms and stuff I've uploaded. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!